Thank you all.
This time we're going to go to public participation. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public, please?
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The public is expected to conduct themselves in a proper manner, and derogatory, abusive, or threatening statements will not be permitted. The chair will immediately rule that such conduct out of order after appropriate warning may terminate any further comments from the speaker. I'd like to remind everybody that there is a 3-minute timetable, and when you do come up to the mic, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, everyone. Dwayne Small, 1304 Madison Avenue. I want to first apologize for my, outburst at this microphone last week. And the reason why I am the way I am with jobs is because I was once at the bottom, and what helped me rise to the point where I'm at now is because people helped me and showed me the way and helped me obtain meaningful employment, where it got to the point where I was able to open my own business and hire young men and women in the community. That's why I'm like that, and I understand that in order to solve most of these problems that we have with our youth in our community, we have to give them an opportunity. We don't want to give them a handout, we want to give them a hand up. So I apologize for the way I spoke at the last meeting. And I want to thank you, Mr. Kendall. And the reason why I want to thank you is because I look up to you as a man. I'm a young man, you're an older man, and I know you have that experience and wisdom that I need to move further and hopefully live as long as you live.
Amen.
And I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank the council for having workforce development as one of y'all focal points. As we know, this was one of the main issues during the election. And I want to thank y'all for that. And I stand behind y'all, and I will fight tooth and nail for that. Anybody that I see, that I feel is trying to derail what we're trying to bring forth in Asbury Park, I'm going to be the first one to stand up and say something. And I want to thank y'all. Continue to do what y'all do with this workforce development and just keep everybody in the loop. And I feel it. I know people going to help out. I spoke to this young lady today. I called her and asked her a question. She's a business owner down here. And she asked me, she said, how did your meeting with iStar go? I said, it went well. She said, I put in the word before you went there. And I was like, thank you. So it's people doing things that we don't even know that's doing things. And as long as we keep moving forward and doing this, this can be the greatest city on the East Coast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy Rogers, 900 Monroe. I like to follow up on what Joe says. And we've talked about jobs and creating, and just following up, just keeping everybody in the loop and actually getting more input in the community. But we have a social service department. There are grants out there under HUD and other areas that could actually be supplemented. And it doesn't create other jobs, but ways of interacting and building this community where there are people who are broken down and families. So if we can improve on that, and I want to thank Joe for bringing it up, that's where our direction needs to be. And this community has an opportunity of being one of the best cities in the state of New Jersey and in the country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael D. Fornino, 120 Fulham Place, Neptune. Had been a businessman in Asbury Park for 53 years. When I came here on a Friday night, I can look back and remember Red Farrell directing traffic down at Press Plaza, and he got an award for the superior action that he did. I don't know, Tony, you remember him? No? Okay, before your time. I speak in opposition to the adoption of this ordinance.
Sonny Farrell, you remember. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. This adoption of the ordinance makes absolutely no sense. You know, there are three kinds of people. People make things happen, people watch things happen, and people say, what happened? Tom Gilmore position has been that of being a proactive position. This is nothing but a reactive position. We don't need we need a reactive position, but not take away the proactive position. There's nobody been more of a salesman for this town or this city than Tom Gilmore over the past 14 years. Anybody disagree with that? Anybody? Look around what's going on. 14 years ago, you could find a parking place anywhere downtown on a Friday or Saturday night. Don't try it now. You're going to ride around for an hour because there's so much commerce. There's nothing in this ordinance that I see, and I read it twice, that speaks to commerce. This position is going to react to the commerce. Where is the commerce coming from? Who's doing that? Who's doing it? Who's bringing the commerce here? Who's bringing the events here? This position, as I read it, is simply going to keep track of the position of these events or whatever. Who's going to make these events happen if you're going to fire Tom Gilmore? You know, I have a degree in business administration with concentration in management, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I've been around for over 50 years in business, in my own business. So I must be doing something right. And I can tell you right now, I would not hire or would not fire the top salesman. I wouldn't do it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not people work for me. I couldn't stand them personally, but they were tremendous producers. So the more the government begins to run like a business, the better everybody's going to be. And this is not good business. Absolutely makes absolutely no sense. Can anybody on the council tell me where there's anything here about development of commerce or about economic development? Ask me. I'm asking you a question. Is it in this new ordinance? Is anybody going to be in charge of economic development? How do you like that? No answer. It's not here. It's not here, flat out. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Thank you. Next.
Hi, Rita Moreno. I know you're preparing for the new year, and I wanted to tell you about the health program that we have here in Asbury, the health plan that the city employees have. Other towns are charging now 35% towards their health plan. Each city employee should be paying that. I think the teachers are doing it here in Asbury, and I'm hoping that we're going to do something like that because healthcare is going up tremendously. We all got increases in our premium payments, and they're not just small ones, they're big. So I want you to put that on your list, 35%, that they should pay towards their health plan. The other thing is the fire chief forgot to answer my question from the other night. I guess he just overlooked it. I'd like an answer for that, about the city employee that was punched his time card and went to work for somebody else. I'd like an answer for that. And the third thing I want to say is, I think it was the last council meeting, not this one this week, a couple of weeks ago, the CFO appeared, and he had like 50 items that that we couldn't hear, that he consulted with you sitting up there. And one of them was taking your cars home at night. Is there a benefit to that the employee has to claim at the end of the year? Or is that just a freebie? That's it. The fire chief did not answer my question, by the way. Did you forget that?
That has come to our attention. The 3 addresses were given to us, I believe, on Monday night. I'm not sure how many or 5 are being looked into. It's still being looked into. Nothing's being thrown underneath the rug. This time we have no further answer. As far as like when we have a complete answer, we will give it to you. One of the people who is key to giving us these answers is out and is returning Monday, and he will be questioned as far as like what happened, and then everything will be made public. As far as the employees taking cars home, yes, they are charged, and they have to pay on taxes at the end of the year. I forget what he said. I think it's $3 a day, and that's by state and federal law. And you had an answer for the question?
Oh, no, I asked for the policy, but I didn't get it, so I'll follow up.
Oh, what, cars? Oh, yeah, if I'm given a city car and I take it home, I have to pay taxes on it, yes. How much it is, I think it's $3 a day, I'm not sure. It is, it's $3 a day, and that's by state law.
Okay, but do you get a paper from the city, like a W-2 form saying that you're doing that?
They either get a 1099 or it's taken out of their
Yeah,
paycheck.
1099.
I think it's taken out of their paycheck.
In one of the deductible boxes.
I think it's taken out of their paycheck. Right.
Okay. I wanted to welcome the city manager. I hope you do a good job.
Thank you, Rita.
Okay.
Hi, Lori Ross, speaking from the perspective of a former city employee. My address is 374 Long Branch Avenue, Long Branch, New Jersey. I just have a couple of questions as a follow-up to the meeting on Tuesday, and I'll just spit out the questions. And yes, Mayor Moore, it is 5 addresses. So the questions include, does the city of Asbury Park have an ordinance for sidewalk construction and removal for work? I can't find that online, but I did find an ordinance from the city of Long Branch which specifically details that it is the property owner's responsibility for the right-of-ways, the aprons, and sidewalks, etc. So Long Branch does have an ordinance. Mr. Raffetto, if you want a copy of it, I'm sure Jimmy Aaron probably did it. I'll certainly give that to you, but it's very specific in that it is the owner's responsibility and not the city. Mr. Nuccio stated in the Asbury Park Sun that the work was completed without the use of CDBG funds. Have a problem with that? Some questions, because we have some documentation from the city that lists, shows that from 7/8/15 to 8/26/15, CDBG funds were used for concrete, for curbing, and an apron for various locations to include the addresses in question. I have it here. I believe that there are more. The addresses that I listed, CDBG funds, it appears, may have been used for that. Again, very specific, Springwood, Atkins, Comstock, 3rd and 4th, 3rd Avenue apron. Again, it's all out of CDBG funds. Also, with regards to the CDBG funds, I'd like to know who sits on the advisory committee, and are those meetings open to the public? How could anyone from the public join this committee? Are the CDBG awards posted on the city's website, and do they or can they list the organizations and individuals that receive these funds? Again, these are all questions of accountability. I really find a number of things unconscionable with regards to how the CDBG funds are spent. Specifically, per our conversation, Deputy Mayor Quinn, we know, in fact, that there's an individual that still has not received a CDBG award of $1,500 from 2014 to teach young girls how to speak properly and provide etiquette classes to young girls that certainly could use that. But your community development director has spent over $1,500 for food for one event. So what's more important, fried chicken and collard greens? Or is it more important to educate these young girls how to conduct themselves and to speak clearly? The council sets the priority. HUD doesn't care about that one individual organization. HUD doesn't care about the West Side Community Center, but I hope that you guys implement some policies where we can get some support. It's really unconscionable. And again, as everybody knows, a former deputy mayor went to federal prison for a driveway. I hope this is given that same due diligence as he was.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. And if you can, it's sometimes questions get lost because you just like rattle off 20 questions. And so if you can get us a copy of all your questions, you'll get a timely response. You're not going to have to file an Oprah request or anything. I think Cindy can look into the ordinance as far as sidewalks. I believe there is one. I'm not sure. There used to be one, so that can be checked out. But so, again, if you could just give us a copy. And for some reason, I was talking to Mr. Nuccio today, and he had looked at 3 properties, so I want to make sure we have all 5 of them. So if you could just follow up with a list of anything you're looking for, we'll gladly get you the answers before the next meeting.
Who is the point of contact to email or give that information to?
Kevin, do you want to be it?
Okay, got it.
Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin, I can email her about the committee, the CDBG committee.
Okay.
Just bunt that to me.
Hello everyone, Calvin Edison, 405 First Avenue, Asbury Park.
And Amy, I do hope you get these guys to support the public speaking program. Angela, a BAS board member. Those girls were so powerful. You witnessed it.
Oh, yeah,
And,
no, I was a judge. I'm a big supporter
Yes,
of
and,
Angela's program.
we need to continue it.
Yes, I 100% agree with you.
And also, I want to address the new city manager. I think that you have to revise your code enforcement. My house is by the east side of the ocean, and I spend like every 2 years probably $8,000 to paint my house. I scraped all the debris paint from my house and, got it prepared because I decided I wanted to brake face it. Your code enforcement guy came past my house maybe like 11 times, and gave me a summons. I didn't agree with his findings, so, I do that type of work, and I just don't understand what he was talking about, because I looked at your standards and it says that you don't want flying debris, paint, or anything like that, so I got rid of that. But I decided that I wanted to brick face my house, instead of painting it, because I'm kicking out $8 grand every 3 years. So I hope that you sit down with your code enforcement and, 405 First Avenue. I hope you sit down with them and maybe give them some type of better training, or just maybe get new people.
And Michael, Calvin's emailed me a couple times about it, that I'm not sure if I CC'd you. I definitely CC'd Tony, Tony on it, but I can forward those emails from.
And his wife also called me a couple of times in reference to that also.
And just one more thing, everybody come out and support the young little girls who are doing public speaking. They need your help, the whole city. Thank you very much.
Is there a date on that, Calvin?
Pardon me?
Is there a date?
We don't have a date on it yet, because, we're just still trying to get support, to help the young ladies out.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Anita Wiener. I live on Madison Avenue, and I've been coming to these council meetings for a couple of years now, and I'm seeing how difficult a job it is, and sometimes how much misinformation scrolls itself through different people's minds and brains, and then it just gets like playing telephone. You hear one thing, you pass it on to somebody else, and what you think you heard is something different. So the President of the United States gives a State of the Union address every year. The governor, I believe, gives a State of the State address every year. And I think it might be a good idea for somebody in the city council or the city manager at the end or the beginning of a year to give a State of the City of Asbury talk and explain not only what hasn't gone good, but the things that have gone well, and what your agenda or hopes are for the incoming year, and the progress that the city has actually made. So it's just a suggestion, and I think it might be helpful to the entire community if this takes place. That's it.
I think it's a great idea, Anita.
Thank you, very good suggestion. We're looking to do maybe a quarterly report after the first of the year, so thank you. And we have been, Jesse's been the big proponent of that from day one, and just like with everything else happening, just haven't gotten to it. Something you want to address in the future. Thank you. Jared?
Hello, Mayor and Council, Jerry Scarano, Long Branch, New Jersey. What I wanted to say, welcome to new city manager, Michael. And Jesse, you said the right thing. Your name is the most important thing, and thank you for bringing that up. That's what people need to know, that they have to respect each other and remember their name goes with them. Okay, the other thing I wanted to bring up is what she talked about, what my question was, and I bring it up every so often to the new city manager. We had asked Tony and the other city manager, we believe we should have a monthly report on what happens in the city, a summary of every bi-weekly meeting that you guys have, so the taxpayers know what's going on. You may want to have a citizens or a group of people put together to help with their specialties or the profession, to help you or help the city cut taxes or expenses, whatever you want to call it. The other thing I'd like to bring up is all the vacant lots around the city, they don't have addresses on them. I think the city should paint the curb with the address of the empty lot. So if some lady's walking the dog and see the pickup dumping a load of debris on a lot, she can call up and say, listen, I just saw a white pickup dump a load of lumber or tiles on such and such street. Send somebody, a cop car over right away, they can do it. As for taking city vehicles home, I've been a proponent of GPS on all vehicles because I really don't believe most people take the shortest route home from work to their house when they have the company car. So I like to know when the car goes to BJ's and Kmart also, and someone should be auditing it. I was told, you know how much money it's going to cost to audit that? Yes, it'll cost money at the beginning, but when a few people lose the driving privilege, word will get out. It's a city car, not a personal vehicle. And that's about it for tonight. Anything, like, any answers to my other questions in the past?
If you move it onto the lots, does that mean we have house numbers on all the homes?
Like the same thing, yeah. We did one step, now we're going to the next step.
Moving on, there's some progress.
Oh, Joe, you say about teaching parent to be parent. Most of us understood the hand. This way meant one way, and this way meant another way.
No, that's not Jerry. That's not what I was talking about.
Thank you, Jerry.
Hi, my name is Matt Hockenjos. I'm here to support Tom Gilmore on behalf of the Asbury Park Music Foundation, which I'm the executive director of. Tom is the president. I'm also here on behalf of Flory and Bob Gold, who are residents of Asbury Park and business owners of Gold Mobile Enterprises. And I'm here as a resident myself, 1110 Fifth Avenue. I got this message from Flory Gold this week that she wanted me to relay to the council, so I'm going to read it. It said, "Hello, Matt. I'm writing to you in hopes that you'll be able to relay this to the town council at the meeting. My husband and I have owned a condo in North Beach in Asbury Park since 2006. We've watched the city grow from desolate to extremely crowded, popular place. This happening town down the shore. We have seen firsthand the enthusiasm, passion, and love which Tom Gilmore holds for the city of Asbury Park. His passion is contagious. It is Tom, through his position and daily efforts, that bring many people to Asbury Park. For example, his weekly newsletter and list of events brings people into the city. We have friends who are non-residents but wait anxiously for his weekly newsletter so they can make their plans to pick events which they'd like to attend. We too agree we don't understand why at this time of growth and development the city would want to eliminate a position that promotes growth of the city. We've come too far to drop the ball now. I read this past week's Chamber of Commerce newsletter, and it was a summary of events. There was no feeling of excitement, no feeling of love for Asbury Park, and no enthusiasm. It was a far cry from the amount of energy Tom put into producing this newsletter. We hope that you can get this to the proper person or read it at the meeting, as we both have previous commitments and cannot attend. We urge the City Council to reconsider to keep Tom Gilmore's position as Director of Commerce and to keep Tom Gilmore. Thank you in advance. Sincerely, Flory and Bob Gold." And I think that perfectly sums up the way that so many people feel in the city, and it was apparent at the last meeting, based on what everyone had said. I think it's a huge mistake. It'll be a huge loss for the city. And I specifically remember a few people asking everyone in the room to raise their hand, if Asbury hasn't come a long way since before Tom was here, and nobody did, and that kind of stands out to me, and I think about that a lot. So I hope you'll reconsider. I know this is the last attempt, and I hope it means something. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Maggie Quinton, North Beach. I just wanted to bring up one thing. I brought this up several times, Lake Avenue, closer to Main Street. I go to my trainer there, Fred, and lately now there's even more trucks. They park sideways instead of even going in, and they're all over the place. It's really not safe for people to be walking or even to be parking, pulling out, and driving by there. And I've asked if a police officer could be there at certain times, but it's really gotten worse rather than better. So if someone could look into that. Thanks.
Didn't we talk about that at the parking committee, or no? Did we not?
No, we should
No.
revisit it.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
we talked about it briefly.
Briefly, just briefly. But I brought it up at the council meetings, but, there was bricks falling one time when I was, putting my money in and stuff like that. But now the trucks, there's like about 5 trucks every day, and they park sideways, and it's really bad. Really
So
bad.
maybe in that spot, we talked about in the park committee, we would make like 1 or 2 designated commercial vehicle spots.
Well, they're doing construction there. That's what it's about.
Oh, it's only construction.
It's construction trucks. Go ahead.
The construction site was without control today. I went by, I got traffic over there. We shut the construction down today.
Okay.
It was a complete nightmare, dump trucks everywhere.
Yep.
I experienced it myself, but we shut down. They had been told ahead of time what they needed to do, and they did not comply. They will comply or they won't run the construction site.
Right, and I think this has happened at other times, and maybe you didn't see it, because it's been, it's been bad there.
Absolutely.
So.
Thank you very much for that.
What was that, the 600 block of Lake?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you.
And the cement loading today.
Motion to close? We're going to make a rule, you got to be closer, Warner.
You got to be closer to the mic. Warner Baumgartner, Fifth Avenue. I just want to raise an issue about an item, 2 items actually, on the consent agenda for resolutions. The 398 and 399, which are those lease agreements for encroachments into the right-of-way. I read them. They were available online. And I'd just like to suggest that it seems to be that they're written for 3-year terms and automatically renewable. I would like to suggest you make them, since this is an experiment, a first time at it, that you make it for 1 year only. In particular, one of these actually has the dimensions of the proposed vestibule mentioned. The other one does not have the dimensions within the actual contract. The graphics that were provided, one looks like a nice black thing, kind of fits in with the building. The other one looks like a blue thing with clear glass, clear plastic windows in it. And I raise that issue as city historian also, because that building, 550, is a significant architectural feature of the downtown. All the storefronts there are uniform in design. The building has a contiguous, unified facade. And to have these varied vestibules popping out of it of different colors and different sizes might not be the best way to go. For a building like this, which has multiple storefronts within one structure, it might make more sense to have one unified vestibule that's applied to that, as opposed to differentiating it from a different building. So a 1-year time limit probably to see how it goes, and I think you ought to make some uniformity in what's permitted on the facade of a contiguous storefront building set. So those are just my suggestions. You have it on here for consent if you want to, think of those things. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I know.
Good evening. My name is David Van Buskirk. I'm a resident of Wayside, the next town over, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Tom Gilmore as well as to reiterate some of the things that have already been said. I've been a huge fan of Asbury Park for the 38 years that my family and I have lived here. Just love this town. I even loved it when things weren't so great. We would come down and bring the kids to the boardwalk, and then things went south quickly, and we were actually afraid to bring our kids. And then things started to turn around. Dan Jacobson came in and started writing the Tri-City News, and things started picking up a little bit, and the right people, I think, were elected to the council, and they brought in some of the right people to run the town. One of the best ones, maybe the best one ever, is Tom Gilmore. Tom is, in the public's eye, Asbury Park. He does so much for this community. He knows everybody. He goes everywhere. He's at every grand opening. He encourages people to come to the town. He, again, is Mr. Asbury Park, as the press has said. It'd be great if Tom had a chance to work with the new city manager, for you to get to know him and know the ability that he has to bring people to the table, to excite people. I agree with the previous speaker who said that the newsletter, it just doesn't have any pizzazz anymore. You've got a couple of nice pictures in it, but it doesn't do the job that Tom's newsletter, his email blast used to do. I don't understand. I've read a lot about what's been happening with the reorganization of the city, but I have not read anything that really makes me understand why this job is being eliminated and being replaced by 2 positions. You're not saving money. You're going to actually be spending more money between the salaries and the benefits that you're going to have to be giving to 2 people. I just wish you would take another look at it. My family and I and all the people who live in the surrounding area just see this as a destination place. We love to come down here and eat and shop and hang out, walk around. It's the first time in years you can walk around Asbury Park and feel comfortable and happy. I ultimately want to retire and move here. And I would feel a lot better if we had somebody like Tom Gilmore still working on our behalf. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good evening. Tom Gilmore, 1308 Fifth Avenue. I have 4 items that I'd like to talk about. The first is the Asbury Park Music Foundation applied for a special events permit to conduct a summer series 2016 in the Springwood Avenue in the new park. And we've applied for a grant, and it's sort of a competitive type grant, and we need people to vote in favor of that. It's $25,000, which will fund almost all our expenses. The way it works is the first 25 cities that get the top votes meet the first qualifying step, and then the grantor will pick 15 of those cities to get $25,000. So I encourage you to vote. The website is levittamp.org, LEVITTAMP.org. Second item is this Saturday, the Special Olympics Law Enforcement Thanks for Giving Polar Plunge will take place in Asbury Park. It's a great event. There'll probably be 1,000+ people here, so I hope that everybody will go out and support that. The third item is that on the workshop session, you were talking about sending out an RFP for a number of services that people want to do on our beach. Mayor, you remember that Teo Massage was in for a special events meeting at one time, and they requested that they be able to do massage on the beach. So I encourage you to include that as part of the RFP that you're going to put together. Right?
I'll wait till you're done.
Okay, all right. Finally, I have a question to the council. On 2 Fridays ago, which was my last day, I got a phone call from a business that's interested in coming to Asbury Park. They needed help with finding a location. They needed help with trying to get some financing together. They needed help with figuring out what the UEZ program is in the city and how to sign up for that. And they needed help on figuring out the process of getting through the getting construction permits in the city. So my question to the council right now is, if somebody calls the city right now, who does that get directed to?
When you say you're done?
I'm done.
Okay. The first question, the RFPs you're talking about Monday night when we were talking about concessions?
Yeah, the surf lessons on the beach and all that other kind of stuff.
I thought you meant tonight work session.
No.
Yeah, what we said is we're going to form some type of ad hoc committee and look at everything. And I have no problem putting that out to bid. So, we'll definitely consider it and see what other towns do and go from there. As far as anybody looking to do anything, I would say they call the city manager's office and it'll be directed to the right person.
Who would that person be?
Up to the city manager.
Okay.
Motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right, we're going to now move on to acceptance of minutes. I have 4 sets before you tonight. October 26, 2015 workshop session, October 28, 2015 executive session, October 28, 2015 regular session, and October 29, 2015 special executive session. Does anybody want any of these minutes pulled out, please? Have a motion to approve?
Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn? Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We'll now move on to the consent agenda resolutions. All matters listed in the consent agenda are presented collectively to the City Council and will be considered for approval with one vote. These matters will be considered routine in nature, and there will be no individual discussion on these items. If discussion is desired by one or more council members as to the particular items, then said items shall be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. We have 4 resolutions this evening. 2015-384, approving special events wedding applications as presented on November 9, 2015. 2015-385, resolution authorizing the payment of payroll in the amount of $859,791.64. We have a resolution 2015-386, resolution authorizing the disposition of surplus vehicles and property, which revised resolution has been provided to you this evening. And resolution 2015-387, resolution authorizing approval of the City of Asbury Park Fire Department members' enrollment into New Jersey State Firemen's Association. Would anybody like to pull any of these items off the consent agenda? Have a motion to approve all 4 resolutions?
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're on now to individual resolutions. Resolution 376, 2015, 376. Resolution authorizing finance to negotiate with vendors for vehicle maintenance repairs. Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-388, resolution authorizing the payment of bills in the amount of $1,937,731.87. Have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-389, resolution authorizing the purchase of 6 MVRs for the police department. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions?
Just so the public knows, those are cameras, because none of us knew.
I knew. I
You gotta
Googled
Google.
it.
Well, after you Google.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-390, authorizing appointments to the Public Arts Committee. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions?
Who are?
It's Michelle Alonso, who's our new city planner. The Public Art Committee does a lot of the mural approvals, just so everyone knows. They meet, they review the murals, they make suggestions. The second person is Marilyn Schlossbach, who apparently was originally on it and then didn't respond when we put it together again and is now back and has now asked to be back on it, and they're both as alternates.
Thank you.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-391, amending the metered parking requirements in the downtown and waterfront areas of the city, effective every Wednesday during the time period from November 26th through January 1st, 2016. Have a motion, please.
Before you move that forward, I think there needs to be a revision
Yeah,
to
so
it.
just so the public knows and everybody else knows, we we spoke with both the chamber and some organizations downtown representing business owners, and actually the waterfront, because I spoke to Carrie Turner as well, about revising the free parking. And we have decided to revise it to Saturday for Small Business Saturday. So from 12 to 6, there will be free parking on Saturdays in the effort to bring people into town for Small Business Saturday instead of Wednesday night, because much of the feedback on Wednesday night was that it wasn't helpful. So we changed it to Saturday, 12 to 6.
Every Saturday?
Every Saturday from Thanksgiving to Christmas, that's all.
And there was a discussion in the parking committee about this, and there wasn't a strong feeling one way or the other. We went around the block about a lot of different things. And the concern with the free parking is, and we had somebody come to that parking meeting with this exact concern, is that when you have free parking, employees and residents take those spots. So by limiting it to a short period of time, and we talked to the people who program our meters, you can program the meters so if you show up at 5 o'clock, you can pay starting at 6, right? So you can get 2 hours free, and then you can pay for the whole night so you don't have to come back to your meter. So that'll limit that problem. So the idea is to draw in people to come to our downtown while we keep the spots open for those people.
During the day to preferably do holiday shopping.
And can I just clarify, is it through Christmas or through the new year? Because the way the resolution was originally written, it was through January 1st.
Make it January 1st then.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, can I have a motion as revised?
Move it.
Second.
Any other further comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-392, award a contract for regional contribution agreement project 405 First Avenue. Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-393, award a contract for regional contribution agreement project 1306 4th Avenue.
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-394, award a contract for regional contribution agreement project 1219 Monroe Avenue. Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Award a contract for, or Resolution 2015-395, award a contract for regional contribution agreement, project 1409 Bangs Avenue. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or
Question.
questions? Go ahead.
Number one, I'm happy to see some RCA money being spent, but in the future, and Fred, you tell me, could these be under,
Consent.
yeah, consent agendas?
They can be, yes.
Okay, just because, yeah, I'm happy finally somebody's taking advantage of this millions of dollars sitting there and it's being used. This is the most I've seen in a year. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-396, resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Asbury Park approving the execution of amended memorandum of understanding with New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for the Springwood Avenue Brownfield Development Area. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-397, resolution authorizing consent to New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection permit for 1101 Ocean Avenue. Can I have a motion?
And before you move this forward, when Christine Ballard was here during the work session before she left, she asked me if this could be revised so as to read that you are authorizing the city manager to execute the NJDEP statements of consent on behalf of the city rather than the city engineer. So with that change, you could move it forward.
Motion as revised, please.
Second. Oh, move it.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Resolution 2015-398, authorizing the City of Asbury Park to enter into a license agreement to permit an encroachment into an area of the city of right-of-way adjacent to the property located at 550 Cookman Avenue, Block 3105, Lot 4. Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions?
Yeah, question. I'm going to Warner's point. As far as, should we make it 1 year renewable? Why did we go with 3 years?
I thought when this was addressed 2 weeks ago that the decision was made that it would be 3 years. However, they would have to make application each year, and as long as there was no change from 1 year to the next, it would be administratively processed so that they wouldn't have to actually come back before the council.
That's
But that's
exactly
your
my
discretion.
recollection.
You could certainly make them come back on an annual basis and give it a try for 1 year, and then go with this process in the future after you test it for 1 year. It's
Can we-
entirely at your discretion.
So as it stands, if it doesn't work out, we can't stop it.
You can. This is
After
the
1
way,
year.
well, actually, the way this is written,
So then it's written with the ability to,
actually, the way this is written, this is revocable at the will of the city. So you're not giving them any vested rights to anything. You're saying that you're granting them the privilege to put this up during the months from November through May. However, it's at your discretion, you could revoke that privilege.
so in January, we can say it's not working.
You could.
Okay.
As long as we can do that.
Okay, then I think that covers.
So, I mean, there were a couple of comments, though, and it's up to you as to whether you want to just limit this to 1 year only for the first year, or, okay. The second point is, there is a specific reference in the one agreement dealing with Tallulah's for an area not to exceed, and the reason that Michelle and I put that in the agreement and not in the other is that we thought that the dimensions of the happiness encroachment were shown on the plan, but I was looking at it and it was a little blurry with this blueprint, and I can't quite tell. So I don't see any harm in inserting the same provision that it shall not exceed the same dimensions as Tallulah's, because it's basically the same thing. It's for the area immediately adjacent to the door, and I imagine it's exactly the same as Tallulah's. So you could insert that. And in terms of the look of the aesthetics of the canvas that's going to be utilized, that's at the council's discretion. There are two different types. One is a black color material. The other one appears to be navy blue with clear plastic. If you want to mandate that they be the same, we'll just let the business owners know that it has to be in accordance with this particular standard. As it is, those are the specs that were provided to us by each business owner. Michelle saw them and didn't have a problem with them and passed them on. So they are different. One is black, obviously, one is blue with clear. But that's up to your discretion.
Asbury Park colors, so as people walking down the sidewalk, they'll say, "Go Bishops." The only thing, I don't want to change the black one just because I'm not sure of the dimensions. It's not obnoxious and it's already been built, so I would hate to tell them, hey, you gotta go rebuild something else. So we looked at it, they put it up, took it down, gave us pictures of it. I'd just as soon leave it the way it is. And I think it's the same size, if not smaller. So let's just pass it the way it is, especially since we can revoke it at any time.
Right, there's a problem.
Right.
What about making the blue and black?
Okay, so the one that's now before you is item number 397, which deals, I'm sorry, strike that. Item number 398, which deals with Happiness Cafe.
And we have a motion and a second on the floor. Are there any other comments? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Next one is 2015-399, authorizing the City of Asbury Park to enter into a license agreement to permit an encroachment into the area of city right-of-way adjacent to the property located at 550 Cookman Avenue, Block 3105, Lot 4. Have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second.
Any comments or questions for this? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
We're now on to ordinances, first reading, 2015-47, ordinance amending and supplementing section 7-20 entitled One-Way Streets of Chapter 7, Chapter Traffic of the Code of the City of Asbury Park. Just to let you know, you have a revised ordinance at your seats tonight, and can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2015-47?
Move it.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Public hearing for this ordinance is scheduled for December 9, 2015.
And just to, I should have mentioned it before, but to Warner's point, at the workshop meeting, we put it in front of our planner to look at, as we're doing the amendments, to look at the flow of traffic in the WRA.
Next is ordinance 2015-48, amending and supplementing section 2-10.1 entitled Voluntary Special Duty Assignments for Police Officers and Firefighters, a section 2-10 Special Duty Assignments of Chapter 2, Administration of the Code of the City of Asbury Park. Have a motion, please.
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Public hearing is scheduled for December 9, 2015. Ordinance 2015-49, an ordinance amending and supplementing Section 4-1 entitled Business Licenses of Chapter 4, General Licensing of the Code of the City of Asbury Park, New Jersey. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Public hearing is scheduled for December 9, 2015. 2015-50, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 2 entitled Administration of the Code of the City of Asbury Park, New Jersey, in order to establish a new section thereof to be known as Section 2-86 entitled Requests which require services to be rendered by professional appointments and/or employed by the city, application procedure, and escrow requirement. Can I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Public hearing is scheduled for December 9, 2015. We're on now to second reading, public hearing. The first is going to be ordinance 2015-42, amending and supplementing section 28-1.5B entitled Vital Statistics, Fees of section 28-1 entitled Administration of Chapter 28 entitled Health Regulations of the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Asbury Park, New Jersey. Can I have a motion to open up ordinance 2015-42 to the public?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this ordinance?
Could you explain that?
It's just changing the vital statistics fees for certified copies from $10 to $15.
Changing what?
Certified copy fees.
We're raising
So-
the fee from $10 to $15.
Motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion to adopt ordinance 2015-42.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2015-43, amending and supplementing section 9-2.3 entitled Cat and Dog Licensing Fees of section 9-2 entitled Licensing of Dogs of chapter 9 entitled Animal Control of the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Asbury Park, New Jersey. Motion to open ordinance 2015-43 to the public.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Anybody from the public like to speak on this ordinance?
What is that about?
Increasing fees again.
For dogs, Rita, we're increasing dog fees.
What about the dog?
All the ordinances are out there for you to review. It's just increasing the dog licensing fees.
All right. You're raising the fees?
Yes.
We're increasing the fees for dogs and cat licenses, and plus we're putting in other stipulations. If you're late, you charge a $10 late fee. There's no reason you can't get in here by March and pay your dog fee. You know, you shouldn't be coming in December unless it's a new dog. And, you know, but if you had the license last year and you come in June, you're going to get hit with a late fee. So we're increasing revenue.
Well, what about if you don't apply for one?
That's where the police,
You're going to have
it has
somebody...
nothing to do with this ordinance.
Oh.
We talked about it. There's going to be dog census that
It's going to be
Oh,
in January.
you're going to do that? That's
Yes.
good.
Yep, we said that the other night.
Well, that would be good. That's very good. Thank
You're right, because we have a lot of dogs that nobody has licenses for.
Most people have more than one.
Motion to close ordinance 2015-43.
Move it. Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion to adopt ordinance 2015-43.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Werner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
2015-44, amending and supplementing subsection 6-3.4 entitled License Fees, maximum number of section 6-3 entitled Licensing of Chapter 6 entitled Alcohol Beverage Control of the revised general ordinance of the City of Asbury Park, New Jersey. This is removing the number of actual licenses that we have set in the code, because that's set by the state of New Jersey, so I didn't feel that that was necessary. And it's also changing the distribution fee to be equal with the consumption fee by the maximum amount allowed by state law. So it's just making everything clean.
Move it.
Second.
I don't know where we're at.
Okay,
Are we opening
well,
it
we're
to public?
opening it up to the public. I was
Move it-
just trying to get everybody to...
Okay, well, move it to open to public.
Any public comment? I tried.
Well, like, stay up is right. If they have a liquor license and they're using it in more than one place,
That's not this ordinance, Rita.
that's not this
That's
ordinance?
not this ordinance. This is strictly fees.
And what are the fees?
The fees are, I believe, maximum amount, I think it's $2,500.
They're going from 2147 to 2500.
And that's just distribution. Consumption's already there.
And how many licenses?
Approximately 40.
About 47.
47?
Total?
And that includes your club licenses, that includes your distribution and your consumption.
Next.
Motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion to adopt ordinance 2015-44.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Ordinance 2015-45, repealing Section 2-20 entitled Department of Commerce and amending and supplementing Section 2-22 Department of Communications of Chapter 2 Administration and amending and supplementing Chapter 4 General Licensing of the Code of the City of Asbury Park, New Jersey. Can I have a motion to open Ordinance 2015-45 to the public?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Watch the cord. Watch the cord. Hi, Warner Baumgartner, Fifth Avenue. I'm reading the duties and responsibilities of this new position being created, communications. And the first thing that struck me is a lot of this sounds like the things that the ombudsman used to be involved with. Do we still have the position of ombudsman? Is that part of the city code still?
I think that's in, don't quote me, but I believe that is in the city code.
I believe it is also. Now, the ombudsman typically would do stuff like this, especially number one, managing and directing communications. That is like, feeding questions from the public to the proper department, getting things, straightened out as far as questions about permitting and things like that. Perhaps it would make sense to actually appoint an ombudsman and have him do some of this stuff, because the other things that are listed under this communications position seem rather technical in nature, as opposed to just, directing questions back and forth. You've got, directing the website, you've got media inquiries, branding, overseeing APTV, upgrading of computers, hardware and software. This seems like a completely different kind of skill set than what's listed in A of just kind of managing and directing communication. So maybe that would make sense to split this a little bit between two different people if you should decide to have an ombudsman again. Maybe they should work together. I think that's a an unpaid position, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, Rita tells me it was 3,000. I don't know. So, you know, just something to think about, you know, if you're creating this position and we have an ombudsman position, they should probably work in concert with each other. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't see a fee, Rita, for the ombudsman position. Oh, sorry, this is it.
Hi, this is if there's no fee, you know, we
I'm
have...
sorry, can you need to state your name?
Oh, Calvin Anderson, 405 First Avenue, Asbury Park.
Thank you.
Angela Bass Anderson's a former reporter. She worked for KDKA. You know, why don't you use her services for this communications position? I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm waiting for an answer?
I don't think you're addressing the ordinance. I think you're addressing Warner's question that really strayed from the ordinance. He suggested we look into bringing back an ombudsman, which we have no problem.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
Right. So, but right now we're talking about this ordinance and this ordinance only.
Well, the gentleman said that you wanted to split positions.
He said he wanted to.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I was just letting you know.
Suggested is a good possibility and it is a good suggestion.
Well, I was just letting you know that you do have professional people here in the community that can help out with that.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody get up there.
Tom Gilmore, 1308 Fifth Avenue. Ordinance 2015-45. What that does is it actually eliminates the position of Director of Commerce and creates a new position, Director of Communications. By eliminating the Director of Commerce position, it also gives the City Council the authority to lay off the current Director of Commerce. The Director of Communications position actually takes about a quarter of the job plus some additional duties that the Director of Commerce was already doing. So the public has asked the council a number of times, you know, why this is happening, what's the urgency with all this. There's been answers like a new direction, and a holistic approach to communications, but yet there's no plan. The council has no plan moving forward here as what they're going to do with economic development. The public is perplexed as to why this decision is being made. So tonight, the council has three choices to make. One, they can vote the ordinance down, which would continue the amazing success that has happened with economic development in the city. Two, they could table the ordinance and let the former Director of Commerce continue his work with the new city manager and then reevaluate that at another time. And to continue to bring new businesses into the city that create jobs. Or three, they can approve the ordinance. And in doing so, what they're saying is that economic development is not a priority of this council. Workforce development is more than just construction jobs. You need new businesses in this city to create new jobs. You need businesses to come to this city to increase our tax revenue. So you have a decision to make tonight. You can vote no, you can table the motion, the ordinance, or you can vote yes. And if you vote yes, you're really telling the public, you're telling the financial community right now that economic development is not a priority of this council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rita Morano, 8th Avenue. It seems to me like this is not a full-time job. So if you are going to hire somebody, why don't you just hire them for like 29 hours a week, and then you don't have to pay the benefits? I think you have to start thinking about things like that, because we can't afford all these benefits. And this doesn't sound like a full-time job. Whoever said ombudsman is right. They were getting paid $3,000. Now this is up to 50-something thousand. I think you should consider the hours worked, and 29 hours sounds like a lot of hours for this type of job. And I think you should really think about that if you're going to hire somebody. No more full-time workers. This is going on all over the country. It's just not in Asbury Park. People are getting hired as contractors. They don't get any benefits. My son-in-law is one of them. After 17 years of working for Chase Bank, that's what he's become, a contractor with no benefits. And that's what, you have to start thinking about things like this. We can't afford another increase in taxes. I think you know that. So, I mean, it doesn't sound like a full-time job. It sounds like it's part-time, 29 hours a week. Have you considered that?
Yes. That's your opinion. That's not my opinion. But we're listening to you. Yes.
You know, the problem here is that the money is not coming out of your pocket. It is indirectly, but you don't look at...
Everybody who sits up here pays taxes, Rita.
I know you are, but you don't look at things the way people that have been in business look at them.
This has been the best council ever as far as looking at financial responsibilities.
I know that, but why haven't you considered part-time employment? Why do you have to go give everybody the benefits? What is that about?
I think you're, like, the same thing with the medical, and this may be just a difference of opinion on how this country is going, but the municipalities and the taxpayers are getting squeezed together by the corporations, like the insurance companies and the big corporations. It's not a municipal council or the taxpayers that are the problem. Nobody in this town is getting rich from the taxes, from the salaries. That's not the problem. The problem are the corporations that are squeezing everybody. And what they want us to do is this, is to fight against each other. Fight over the...
Okay.
All right, I think we're digressing.
We're losing. We have to stick to the ordinance. If you have questions and concerns about what we're talking
I
about...
think you should table the ordinance tonight and reconsider part-time help.
Okay, thank you for your opinion.
Motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion to adopt ordinance 2015-45.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Ordinance 2015-46, authorizing the City of Asbury Park to convey an easement over certain portions of right-of-way area airspace adjacent to the property located at 550 Cookman Avenue, Block 3105, Block 4, formerly known as Block 117, Lot 10.01. A motion to open 2015-46 to the public?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Anybody like to comment on ordinance 2015-46?
Could you explain that?
This ordinance would grant an easement to allow for the construction of the marquee sign at the House of Independence on Cookman Avenue at 550 Cookman. It's an airspace encroachment.
Motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
Motion to adopt ordinance 2015-46.
Move it. Second.
Councilmember Clayton?
No.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Councilmember Warner?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
And can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move it.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed?